Alright friends, as you can see here tonight, I have a lot of knives on the table. So this is going to be a little bit of a long video by the time we go through all these knives. And what's going on here is these are all the knives that I pulled out of my collection today that I am going to put up for sale at my website, oneangrykid.com. Alright? And that is right here, oneangrykid.com. It's all one word. That is a website that I set up, and the reason I did that was at our channel here, YouTube channel John Clark, we give away more knives probably than any other channel. I mean, here's two right here that I got packed up ready to go away. This is a knife giveaway we just did. I'm waiting for the guy to send me his address. That's a third knife that we're giving away this week. I also have these knives that we're going to be doing giveaways on here in the next week or two. So we give a lot of knives away at our channel, okay? And I'm proud of that. But, you know, I don't have unlimited funds. So in order to fund that, I created my own knife oil. This is a non-toxic knife oil. You know, it's made out of all food grade ingredients, and it's safe to use on your knives when you're doing kitchen prep. You know, if you put it on your pocket knife and you want to cut an apple, you don't have to worry about any toxic substance getting on there, okay? So I sell that as a 2-pack at that oneangrykid.com, and I also sell my leather strops, okay? And these are really nice leather strops, and they're reasonably priced. Right now you can get the leather strop, which comes in this packet here. Nice thick leather on there. Nice handles. Nice green compound comes with that. So you can get those leather strops, one of these, a 2-pack of knife oil, and a polishing cloth. Alright, all for $25. And what we do with those funds, I just want to make sure I'm clear here, none of this money goes in my pocket. All this money goes back to this channel. That's what keeps my hobby going. oneangrykid.com keeps YouTube channel John Clark going. So this is the only way I bring any money into the channel to help support it. And I'm also going to be turning some of the knives in the channel because we're going to Blade Show next weekend. Is Blade Show Atlanta. And I want to take a big old wad of cash with me to bring all kinds of the newest, coolest knives to the channel. Some will go in my collection, and some will be put into new contests for new giveaways. Alright? Go back, check out my old videos. You can see all the giveaways I do. Several a month for the last year and a half. So it's all for real and legit. So let's start working our way through these knives. So the first knife I have is this one right here. Alright, probably the beater of the bunch, and this is an old school Smith & Wesson. Okay, I didn't take the time to clean it up or nothing. It's been sitting in that pouch. But this is a model 6060. Some people call it the 109W. As you can see, it is in pretty good shape. It doesn't look like anybody ever really sharpened it or used it. The blade has no scratches on it. It is like a freaking mirror, okay? Now, it did sit in that pouch for many years, so that side looks pretty good, but this one here, you know, it's got a little discoloration, and a little Smith & Wesson shield. Probably seen better days, but I think if somebody got some polishing material out, you know, they could polish this up, make it look pretty good. Mechanically, you know, look at the back. Looks beautiful. Look at that. It is nice and snappy. And the blade, let's see, yep, the blade looks nice and centered. Okay, so real quick before we get any further, I'm not going to post any prices in this video. I'll have them all up at oneangrykid.com tomorrow. What will that be? June 1st. Okay, so they should be all there. Go to the website, look in there, because I have to weigh all these out and figure out how much the shipping is and all that. Okay, so I can get them posted on there. So I'm not going to mention any prices. I also want to go on eBay and make sure I'm not overcharging or undercharging for any of these knives. Okay? Alright, so the sheath on that one, that's it. That's what it is. Sheath probably rolled around in somebody's glove box or toolbox or something for a long time. But you can see the imprint of the knife in there. But that's it. Okay? Item number 1. That'll be on there. Item number 2. This one is kind of a little rare one. This is the Case Tiny Muskrat. Alright? Comes in the original box. And there it is there. Item 08628 Tiny Muskrat. And this is in the Bengal bone. Look at that. Isn't that a good looking knife? Now this is a small knife. Let's hold it up here next to the ruler so we can see. You got 2 7/8 overall. So pretty small knife. And it's the classic muskrat with the 2 blades. Okay, this knife, it's never been carried, never been sharpened. It is in like new shape. The only thing I see is right there is a little bit of blade rub, and it's not real deep, probably polished right out. That's it. That's the Tiny Muskrat. Here you can see how the blades are sitting in there. Hopefully I'm getting that on camera good. Alright, so that is that one. Number 3, this is a newer model. This is a Case Barlow, and I got it fairly recently. There's the box, light green bone, barn board jig Barlow. Okay. Now the advantage of buying one of these newer knives from me is you get to examine the knife right here with my up close photography and see exactly what you're getting, because we all know when you buy a Case knife new from one of the online stores, you don't get to see what it looks like. So sometimes you get a loser, sometimes you get a blade that's all rubbing to one side. Right? You can see right there. This one is nicely centered. It's got a nice snap to it. And there's your blade. Good looking knife. Okay? Let's get that focused a little better for you. Alright, beautiful knife. Beautiful colors. Okay? So that's item number 3. And like I said, I'll have the prices up on the website by tomorrow morning. Alright, so number 4 is this item number 08406. This is a tiny tooth pack, and this is in the Purple Haze. Look at that. That is that scripted shield. Got that Purple Haze bone. Nice centering on that blade. This is one gorgeous little knife right here. Alright, if you're not familiar with how big the tiny toothpick is, let's hold it up here next to the ruler. And it is right at 3, or actually just like a 1/16 over 3. Okay, so it's not that tiny. Very nice knife. Fits in your pocket, really nice. This one is like mint, never sharpened, never carried. Beautiful condition. A little bit on the rare side. You can't find these. Okay. Next one up, another one that's a little bit newer. This was a Shepherd Hills exclusive. You can see the thing on there. And this is the burnt bright green bone corncob jig small stockman. Let's make sure you can see that. Alright, there you go. Alright, and that's what they call the lizard skin over there at Shepherd Hills. So you can see this is in very nice condition. It's got a real nice burn there. Not quite so much on that side. Everything looks good. Let's check out the blades. Here, let me just go ahead and open it up and put something behind it so you can see it a little bit easier. There you go. Okay. So blades look good, blades look shiny. Maybe something right there, a little bit of blade rub, I'm not sure. That's pretty normal on these Stockmans. But if you are familiar with these knives, you can pretty much tell that this one is pretty much mint, because usually you do get a lot of blade rub. But this is a nice knife. Beautiful knife. Beautiful shape. Okay. Like I said, what you see is what you get. Alright. So, where are we at? That was item number 5. Alright, we got a lot of knives to go. We even got some Spydercos and stuff on here. Alright, so here is number 6. And this one is going to be Hunter Greenbone Deep Canyon Jig Large Stockman. Alright, and you can see what I paid for that last year when they were available. And here's that big old large Stockman. It's got no shield because it has it right there in the bolster. Alright, nice clean bolsters. Just got fingerprints on it. Okay, here's our back springs there. Looking nice and pretty. Okay. There's your blades in there. Let's go ahead and open up these blades. See how they're doing. Look at those big old fat blades that large Stockman has. Alright, so yes, this one has some blade rub. Look at it right there. Right? Let me check it out. Alright, so whatever that was on the blade, it was probably I opened a package or something with it. I had it sitting on my desk when a new knife came in. Then it wiped right off, so really you don't see any bit of blade rub, just a slight mark there, a slight mark there. Most of these are finger marks, but in very great shape. Okay, so that'll be on the website tomorrow for sale. Nice and snappy. Alright, so that is number 6. Number 7, it is a pocket worn Harvest Orange Bone Corncob Jig Copper Lock. Alright, and this is a beauty. So yeah, friends, this one here I was kind of hesitant of letting go, but you know, I'm just not doing the copper lock collection. You know, this is the only copper lock I currently have. I like them. I like the fact that they're single blade, but you know, just I don't have enough of them to keep in the collection, so I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. What's cool about this one, it has the Warncliffe blade. Okay. Not sure if I carried it or not. It doesn't look like it. There's no scratches on the blade. It doesn't look like it's ever been sharpened. You know, I might have put this on the leather strap. Blade centering. Should be in the middle, but it does look like it landed just a slightly to the left there. Okay, let's do it again. Yeah, just slightly to the left, but it's nowhere near the liner. Okay, beautiful shape, beautiful bones, beautiful transitions. Right, there's no scratches. So, like new in the box. Copper lock. Alright. Now let's take a break from the case knives for a minute and show a couple other knives. Okay? Here's a Spyderco. Now this one is a paramilitary 2. This is in the micarta handles. And what is this? The CPN Crewwear. Alright, this one's a little different liners than your normal para 2. So if anybody is interested in this knife and changing out the scales, remember the micarta version is not as friendly as far as changing out the scales. But if you're looking for a mint condition crew wear at a very good price, as you can see, there's not a scratch on those blades. Not a scratch. This knife never was carried in my pocket. It never left my YouTube table. Alright, this micarta on there looks very blonde. That's just because it doesn't have any oil. Here, I'm just going to wet my finger a little bit and put it on there. And you can see, if you were to oil that knife, it would turn a much darker, richer color. So, if it looks funny to you, it's just because it's been sitting in the box and never been oiled or anything, or carried. Doesn't have the oil from people's fingerprints or their, whatever it is they used it through. Because this knife has never been used. Okay? So, that one will be on the website tomorrow. Now, the only thing is, this box right here, this box is a military 2 box. I don't have the original box that came in, but I do have a box to put it in. So, we have that. Next knife up is this Remington bullet knife. Okay, I don't know much about it. I don't know much about these Remington knives, other than this one is in like new shape. I do have the box for this somewhere. I just couldn't find it right now while I was trying to get ready to do this film. Blades are centered, very nice. This is a big old knife. Okay? Look at that. Etching is very nice on the blade. You can tell that blade has never been used or sharpened. Okay, there's your tang stamp. Alright, how big is this knife? Let's get the ruler out so you can appreciate it. We have a blade that's coming in 4 inches. And we got a handle that's coming in at over 5. So we have a total length on this knife is almost 10 inches. That's a huge, huge pocket knife. If you want to cut a grapefruit or a watermelon with the knife, this will be the knife you do it with. And it does have a second blade. Did you hear that? How snappy that big old blade is? And it has another spear point blade here that's coming in right at 3 inches. Not sure if that's called whiskey bone or whatever. That's what I think it would be called. Like I said, I'll have to find the box for this one, but it will be on the website for your purchase. Okay? Alright, number 10 is going to be another Spyderco. And it's going to come in this nice leather pouch, very handsome. It's got this dangler on there. I got this little paracord and stuck to it. If you want me to take it off, I'll take it off before I send it to you. But it is a Spyderco Bow River. It's in very good shape. Okay, it is used. Alright, I do not have the box for it, but I will adjust the price fairly for no box and for being slightly used. Now when I say used, it's never been resharpened, okay, but it's probably been on the leather strop, and it hung out in my tackle box for a little bit. So it's got a couple little marks on the blade, but you can see it does look pretty good. You know, that's why we do these videos, so you can see exactly what you're getting. Alright, beautiful handle. In great shape. Okay? I'll put that on there. This will be a pretty good price. Alright, and let's do another Spyderco while we're at it. This is a Spyderco Temperance 2. Okay, they have a new model, the Temperance 2. It's like a lightweight model, but it is nothing like the old original. Got that big old slab of VG10. Look at that nice thump ramp, right? Jimping on there. Got the little tiny spider hoe. All right, this knife is used, but very so slightly. I probably did put it on my capstone once because it is sharp as a razor. But as you can tell, I didn't bubba up that blade at all. It is almost passable as never sharpened, but I believe in honesty. This brown micarta, as you can see, does have oil on it, so it's a little darker than the Pair 2. You can see the difference. Okay. but comes in this beautiful sheath by Spyderco. Spyderco did a great job. It's got a little mark on it right there. Okay, stitching's great, loop's great. Probably never wore this on the belt. Okay, and a couple little rub marks. Okay, it's not a new knife, it's been around. I've had this knife in my collection probably 10 years. Okay, but I'm going to let it go. And I'm going to have it on my website for a very reasonable price. Alright, so next one up is this number 800781 pocket worn old red bone corncob jig peanut. Okay, what a long name for a little tiny knife, but there it is, a little case peanut in the dark red bone. This side here is not so dark. I think it's gorgeous, and I've always liked these corncob jibs. Okay, but I'm going to let this one go. There is your blade centering, so you can see. Look pretty good. This one's a little bit to the left. That one's pretty centered. Let's open up them blades, take a look at those, and see how they're doing. Okay. Alright, let's put a backdrop behind there. Okay. What is that? That's just fingerprint. Looking good. I don't see any rub on either one of those blades. The knife is looking good. Alright, this is another knife that's never been carried, never been sharpened, like new, in the box. Okay, case peanut. Alright, so next up we have a carbon steel case knife, and this is the number 31949 dark red bone peach seed jig small Congress. Okay, and let's get a backdrop for it. And there she is. There's a beautiful, another dark red bone knife, and very even colored. Nice back springs on there. There's your blade centering. Look pretty good. This is a beautiful example of a small Congress. Alright, now it is slightly used. I had it on my desk for a while. I used to open packages with it, but it's never been sharpened and never carried. As you can see, those blades are basically mint. There's no blade rub or anything. Look at those big old elongated nail nicks. That's what makes the Congress kind of cool. Alright, got kind of a funny looking, I don't know if they would call that a worn clip or not, because it's kind of rounded. It's almost like a funny spear point blade. And then that is I guess a sheep's foot, huh? Okay, no marks on the back either. Beautiful little Congress. You want a little Congress? This is a good one to get. Like I said, I have it on my website for a reasonable price. Alright. Next one, what do we got here? Alright. Comes in a black box. It's a little bit newer model. I believe I got it from Shepherd Hills. Harvest Orange Bone. Hold on. Let's read that number. Alright. A little hard to focus on this one. Number 66695. Harvest Orange Bone. Peach Seed Jig. Small Stockman. Okay. Alright. Here it is. Little Harvest Orange. Peach Seed. Small Stockman. If you like small Stockmans, this is the one you want. This thing is freaking gorgeous and in beautiful shape. Never carried, never sharpened, like new, in the box. We got a little bit of, nope, just fingerprint. No blade rub there. Let's open up these other two. There we got that one. That one. Let's see how those blades are doing. What's that? What's that? Okay. Got a tiny little bit of blade rub right there in the center. See it? That one looks pretty good. That one looks good. And that one looks good on that side. Oh, got a little bit right there. Let me get that in the camera. A little bit right there. Not deep enough. You could probably polish some out. Work the knife a little bit and keep them from rubbing. That's it. Beautiful. Beautiful little blade. Okay. All right. Let's do one more case. And we'll take a look at some other knives. And this is just the big brother of that knife, so might as well get it out of the way real quick. Number 66692, Harvest Orange Bone Peach Sea Jig Medium Stockman. Okay, so there's the medium Stockman. And here is the small. Now, I'm not going to put these up there on a pair. I would imagine if I were you and you wanted some Stockmans, this is a very nice pair to add to your collection. They're both in very nice shape, but we already looked at that one. So let's go ahead and look at this one. All right. Very nice color on those bones. Look at that. Look, it's almost yellow at the end, on the sides. Huh? Gorgeous, huh? There's your blades. Very nice centering. Let's open them up, check them out. Okay. Not a mark on it. Never been sharpened. Never used. Never carried. Let's check out these two. Okay. Once again, not a mark on them. Not a mark on either one of them. This is a primo example of a Harvest Orange Bone medium Stockman. Almost think I should put this back in the collection, but it's already out and it's going for sale. But man, this really is a gorgeous little Stockman, isn't it? All right, well, they don't go quick. I'll put them back in the collection. All right, let's take a break from the case for a minute and we'll check out another brand of knives. But let me just remind you real quick, all these knives are available at oneangrykid.com, and all proceeds go to supporting the channel and bringing knives to this channel for you, my subscribers, to check out and possibly win most of them. All right, this is the Tops Frog Market Special. Okay, comes in this big old box. Well, there's no label on it. Okay, but trust me, this is the Frog Market Special. Comes in that beautiful Kydex clip-on blade. And this is a carbon steel, so I keep a little bit of my oil on the edge. But it does have this special tungsten coating on there that is very nice. It's kind of a bronze black look. It's got these nice micarta, and check out the fasteners they use. Those are very nice. Okay, it's got those liners in there. And this is 3D. Okay, it fits the hand. I got two extra large hands. This nice fits it very nicely. This is the Frog Market Special Extra Large. There's the number on there. Okay, made in the USA. And this is an awesome kitchen prep knife. I got some videos out there. Check out my video cutting up. But I replaced this knife with a buck knife that I am super happy with. And, you know, I just don't have that much room in my RV, so can't keep them all. So I'm letting this one go. All right. This will go to a lucky home. And since it is slightly, very, very so slightly used, you will get it at a good price. So it'll be on my website. All right. So that is the Tops Frog Market Special. Let's put that. That's the extra large version. Okay. Put that back up there. All right. Next up, here's another case fixed blade. And number 00381 Leather Hunter. So this is a beautiful case fixed blade. They call it a leather hunter, but it's almost could be a fillet blade. It's got beautiful jimping on there. It's got that blood groove. Alright, it's got that hollow grind and a little bit of an upswept tip with a nice belly right there. It's got stacked leather handles with the beautiful, I believe that's a G10 spacer in there, and aluminum, black, and then the leather stacked, and then once again down here the same thing. And these came in two versions, one with a round pommel and one with this, I call it the dog leg. And that dog leg's just so much nicer because if you go stabbing something like a pig and you need to pull it out and you're all sweaty from the adrenaline and everything, you got more to pull that knife back out of that pig. But never carried, never sharpened, never used, like new, in the box. And let's get that tank stamp. There it is right there. Okay, nothing on that side. There's that jimping again. Beautiful knife, beautiful knife. Comes with a leather sheet. That is in mint condition. Beautiful shape. And it is lined. It has a liner in there. Okay. Beautiful knife. So that is another case. Alright, and while we're talking about sheaths, here's a sheath I got for sale. Okay, I bought this for my folding hunter. So my folding hunter is a single blade. And this one is just a little bit too thick. This is a extra large sheath. Okay. Brand new in the box. Vintage. It's got the vintage old paperwork here. Everything is in exquisite condition, even the box. There's your item number on the box, and that's going to be on my website, very cheap if somebody needs a sheath like that. So you can, if you had a knife, a big knife, let's just give you some measurements real quick. So let's snap it. Okay, so we are going to put a knife in there. We could probably put a knife up to 5 inches. And inch and 3/8 at least. Okay, and look at the depth of this thing. You can put a 1/2 inch thick knife in there pretty easy. You could probably fit something a little wider in there actually, probably almost 5/8. Okay, so if you got a big old knife you want a sheath for, or maybe you got a project and you want to redo this sheath, or even if you you know what this would be good for? This will be good for a multi-tool. Alright, because those multi-tools are pretty big. They're about that size. They probably fit in there just perfect. Okay? So if you had a multi-tool you want to carry around, you need a new sheath for it. I have that available, and it'll be on my One Angry Kid website pretty cheap. Alright, so let's get into this one. Alright, here's another kind of rare one. Next two knives we're going to show off are both kind of rare. This is a case. Fixed blade. Huh? Most people have never seen these. Alright. Beautiful sheath. They really outdid themselves on this sheath. Look at this thing. It is freaking gorgeous. Okay. Doesn't really have a drain hole, but you can sure as heck drill one in there if you wanted to. Alright. It doesn't have any kind of strap or anything, but it is really molded to this blade perfectly. I mean, that knife doesn't shake, wobble, or come out. It is gorgeous. Got your nice lanyard hole. It's got these big old thick orange G10 liners on there. It's got that stainless steel blade. Got mirror polish on it. Never used, never sharpened, never carried. Got case XX on that side. Look at that. Huh? Pretty cool. And there is your model number right there. 268-4. Stainless steel. Okay. I challenge you to try to find one of these new in a box. That's in this nice a shape. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous knife. Okay, and we also have the original paperwork with that too. So everything in this knife. Oh, look at that. We got 2 paperworks in that box. That's just the way it came. Alright, put that back in there. And even this box. Look how nice that box is. Huh? Beautiful. There's the label. There's the label. I'm not sure if I showed that to you yet or not. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful knife. Okay, if you want that, oneangerkid.com. It'll be on there. Alright, so what do we got? We got down to 1. We're down to the last knife, huh? Okay, well, unfortunate thing, everything has to come to an end. And we kept a knife here, probably one of the rarest knives I have. And it is this case Rattlesnake. Alright, very hard to focus on that box. But it came in this nice tin, which is in very nice condition. And inside that tin is the box for the knife. Let's pull that out. Okay. And here's the box. That is item number 08438. Tiny Trapper. And that is in the Rattlesnake color. Alright, you ready to check this one out? Let's put that back in the box there. Let's get that. Now this sucker is tiny. Okay, I'll get the ruler out here in just a minute. But that is the single blade Tiny Trapper, and that has the rattlesnake skin bone. Another one, mint condition, in the box, never carried, never sharpened, never used. Okay, there's your blade. Let's open up that blade. Check that out. Now, that blade also has that little rattlesnake on there. Hopefully you can see that. I know it's hard to get on camera. And here's our tang stamp. Okay, what's on the back side? Okay. No marks on that blade. No blade rub. No sharpening marks, no nothing. Blade's never been used. Let me make sure I show you the back side of that knife. And the back spring. And the blade centered again. Perfect. Perfect example of a Tiny Trapper. You don't really see these very often. And how big is a Tiny Trapper? I think this is one of their smallest knives, coming in at right at 2 inches. Look at that. There's a tiny little guy. Alright, like a 1/4 inch wide. It's a super cool knife with super cool packaging that goes with it. Okay, and that'll be at oneangerkid.com. Alright. Well, anyway, friends, I hope you enjoyed looking at all these knives. Maybe there's one of these knives that you're thinking about picking up. So like I said, go to oneangerkid.com. I'll have them on there. I think I'll be very reasonable in my pricing. I won't respond to any requests on this video about pricing. Like I said, I'll put it up on the website, oneangerkid.com. And don't forget, I do have the Blade Show special right now, where you get one of my leather strops, 2 of my knife oil, 2-pack, 2 ounces, so that's 4 ounces of knife oil, non-toxic knife oil, premium leather strop, and a polishing cloth, all for $25, okay? And that money goes to the channel, giveaway knives. I want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. It's been great so far. Met a lot of really nice people, met a lot of really nice friends. God bless you all. Y'all stay safe out there. Be good.